Good morning and welcome to High Voltage Day. We have two officers of the FRSC talking to us about the role of the Federal Road Safety Corps in Enugu State precisely. This morning I have with me RCT Okodua and RCN Atu. Subscribe, like and share to get more news and more stories on this channel. Thank you for joining us. But before I open the phone lines, I wanted to ask you just briefly, what are the most common problems? Because I want us to talk about your role in Enugu, you know, because this is where we are. We cannot necessarily
talk about the world,
talk about the entire country presently. So we're going to talk about Enugu and how the present administration might be helping you. I want to hear all the projects you have. I want to hear what's really going on in town here for the road users in Enugu. But before that, I wanted you, to talk to us about some of the major problems you think that you experience with road users in Enugu, because this is going to go both ways, from you and then from the people. So we're going to address the interaction. So what are the major problems that you guys get to experience? What are the major events or reasons for road misbehaviors that you guys experience from the Enugu drivers?
Actually, what we experience from the Enugu drivers is not far from what they have been doing. How we have tried to curtail their behaviors,
excesses,
but still on that, they still misbehave on the road.
Can you tell us some of
these misbehaviors, like these keke drivers, keke riders and these minibus drivers? They are one of the problems in Enugu State. You understand? So those people, they don't obey traffic rules. We notice that a lot. They turn at a very wrong pace where they are not supposed to turn. They make wrongful turns, which leads to one or two crashes in Enugu State. Another thing are the tanker drivers. The tanker drivers, especially in the area of Enugu Yama area.
Okay.
They do drive anyhow in Enugu State. But we have been doing our best to ensure that we talk to them. We talk to them, because there are some of the things you say you would like to know what we are doing.
Yes.
We do go out to parks. We do go out to parks to talk to people on road safety matters, to different parks in Enugu State. We do go to churches, we go to mosques. We meet these people that are coming from the north, that are in Gariki. We do go there to talk to them, so that they will have a very good understanding on the usage of road. So that's it. That's all amenities that we have been doing to ensure safety in Enugu State. And coming to that Ngo Yama area, it has been a concern for us in Enugu State, because many crashes have been happening in that area in Enugu State. We had different calls daily, on the daily for crashes in Enugu State.
So what do you recommend will solve the Ngo Yama problem?
On our part, we have been doing a lot. One of the things that we have been doing is that, like you said, we have a standby team for the zebra team and other personnel for the night duties and day duty. Anytime there is a crash, once they call, they want to, like he told you, what we do is swing into action and ensure that we are there to rescue persons with injury, or if there's any death, to take them to different mortuary to ensure that they are safe. Then where there's an obstruction, we try and clear the obstruction. We do clearance of obstruction too. And this, like what you said, we are partnering with Enugu State government, the Ministry of State Ministry of Transport. They are trying very well. They are assisting us.
Oh, you mean the Peter Mba administration?
Yes. They are doing very well.
To the FRSC?
Yes, they are doing very well.
So are there campaigns and perhaps awareness, maybe radio movement and things like that?
That's what I've been telling you. We have been doing that. That's why I said we have been going to parks, churches. We do go there to talk on Sunday. On road safety matters, to ensure that Enugu State is safe. So, and like now, we are thank you for bringing us here to have this moment to talk to road users in Enugu State. So we believe they are listening. What we want for them is for them to continue to cooperate, for them to continue to obey traffic rules, so that there will be peace and less fatalities in Enugu State. So
that is the major problem. It's not
the issue here most times is about the individual. The driving culture that we already imbibe, something that has been into our bloodstreams, that is very difficult for sometimes for you to just take it out of people.
Explain this.
Explain. Let me explain.
This
For
syndrome,
instance,
yes.
we know that speed thrills, but it kills.
Okay.
And you know that, okay, government have been able to put road furniture and road signs and signals in different locations, telling you what to do at a particular time. Yes, when you get to that spot, for instance, they tell you from this road to this place, from this location to point A to B, don't exceed 30 kilometers per hour as in speed.
Yeah.
But you see people driving 120, 100 kilometers per hour in that same place that
Why
I'm
do
saying.
you think they would drive
No.
like that?
It sometimes is sometimes I see young folks driving that vehicles this way because of the excitement of being an owner of a car.
Oh.
First,
okay.
that's one of the
Excitement.
idea. Then, and secondly, I see it to be some of them don't really think about the effect of being involved in a crash. Because if you drive a vehicle and you know that, oh, okay, today I'm leaving my house in the morning, I'm supposed to go back.
Okay.
You'll be cautious of the way you drive.
So
and that
this
is why
youthful.
yes, apart from the youthful example, I've also seen old people doing a lot of things on the road. Recently, we had some issues that we had to handle in the office, and those persons were not young.
They were not young.
No, and we wait till you see FRSC on the road before you know whatever you're doing to your vehicle for your vehicle to be able to move on the road is for your own good, not for my own good. If you are putting on seatbelt, for instance, I'm not the one you're wearing it for. You're wearing it for your own safety. If your tires are okay, the tire is not mine. The tire is yours. It belongs to your vehicle.
So
Yeah,
we need to keep saying this
Yes,
things over and over
you need to
again.
you need to tell. I used to tell them most times that having a fire extinguisher is not used to off fire in my own vehicle, and it may not be because of your own car. It may be because of someone else that you need to assist.
That makes sense.
Not overloading your vehicle, for instance. It's good for your own vehicle, because for every vehicle there's a specification of load that the vehicle can carry.
Okay.
And sometimes we Africans, we go ahead to add things to our. You see somebody using, for instance, they'll tell you double the shock behind the car so that it can carry more load. But that does not change the fact that this vehicle is supposed to carry 600 kg max, and you are carrying 800, for instance. Then you also talk about the issue of the common one now is use of phone while driving.
Oh, that is common now.
Yes, it's common. You see people making calls using phones and they are driving, making the whole thing. So those are some of the things you see in town.
Okay.
For instance, inside Enugu here, you see it often. And you even see it from people you don't expect that should be doing those things. For
Being on
instance,
the
at times you drive and you look at the person making the call, well dressed, and you know
Oh.
that this person is supposed to be enlightened and educated, so certain things are not supposed to be expected of the person. Knowing fully well that we go out here to make all these appeals and talk to them, and sometimes even when as a patrol operative you decide to make an arrest, you see the person driving recklessly.
Oh.
And thereby, if you want to
Trying to escape.
of
get
course,
away.
Exactly.
mere looking at this, mere seeing the color of FRSC vehicles and the rest, you start seeing people running away because they know
Is there any reason why they?
the reason is simple.
Okay.
They are not doing the right thing.
And there are consequences.
Of
to
course.
this. Okay, we will come to the consequences. Okay. So let's finish up with the habits of road users in Enugu. So we don't have a lot of driving under influence
No,
in here.
that's
We
part
don't.
of we have
We do
a lot.
a lot.
We have a lot of it.
Okay.
You have a lot of that. For instance, you need to go out to a particular place, maybe by, for instance, 9 a.m. in the morning. You need to be in the
9 a.m.
office.
in the
Let's say you
okay.
need to be in the office by 8,
Okay.
and you wait till it's 10 minutes to 8. You are now in a hurry to get there. With that, you will not concentrate anymore. You lost concentration. You are in a hurry. Any little, in fact, most of all the traffic situations we have when we have all this traffic everywhere, where you have vehicles that you don't know where to pass, most of them are just caused by being too much in a hurry. We are not patient. Most people are no. We had this. They are on rare occasions you see drivers who are very patient, and this is one of the reasons why you always have these traffic gridlocks in town, where you have one vehicle can just make one wrong turn, and you see other cars will just start parking
Everybody
behind.
else is.
Now the issue of driving under the influence, well, we have a alcoholizer, or most times we have breathalyzers that we used to do that. We used to check, but you can't check everybody in one day. Like I always like to tell, most times
There's
when we
so
are,
much
yes, there
number
are
of
so many
people.
people to check.
Wow.
And I used to tell most people when we're on patrol then that we stop you and we are letting other vehicle pass. Don't feel bad because we can't stop all the cars going at the same time.
Okay.
We need to stop one, check that one, go to the next one.
Okay.
Gradually like that, we meet the number we want, you know. So sometimes you may not check all the drivers who may be driving under the influence of alcohol. So that's why we go to motor parks to do motor park rallies. We talk to the drivers, we talk to the management of the parks. We enlighten them on the dangers of driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs or substances.
Does it yield the results
Yes.
that you're
Some
hoping?
because we've advocated in the past that they should remove all sports selling alcohol inside. We know most times you go to park, you see people selling all these.
It's like it's mandatory or something.
No,
like
you
They
know.
must
So if
have
you check most of the parks
such
now
spots.
in Enugu, you notice that those things are no more there like it used to be before because we frown at it, and also there are consequences.
Okay.
You know, we have, you know, these people belong to fleet operators. You can be sanctioned if we meet such things in your park. Yes.
Okay,
So now
there are consequences
yes.
for having.
And if you notice it, most of the crashes you see within town is mostly during the weekends, Friday nights, where people go out to drink.
Okay.
And ordinarily you are not supposed to.
Okay, there are more road.
Yes, you within the
accidents
town
in the weekend.
Yes, weekends
from 6 o'clock.
you see
From 6 in the evening.
you see people driving recklessly because if you check, if you want to carry out statistics of those who are actually driving with their clear eyes, you discover that maybe they be just about 20% of the total.
20%
Yes.
of sober people on the weekends.
Because you see people getting excited sometimes driving recklessly. Check, they are under the influence of alcohol or drugs or substance. You understand? So that is one of the reasons. Okay, for instance, now you are driving. Thank God we have the Ministry of Transport also, who has also come to before. We also have the VIO, vehicle inspection officers. Though they have their own roles to play. If you notice, most people don't obey traffic lights. Where you have the traffic light showing you red, don't pass.
I will come to that part that
You
you've
know,
mentioned because there is some conundrum to it.
Yes.
But I would like to open up the phone lines because some people have been trying to blow us up this whole time. Let's just open the phone lines. You know what to do. Keep it clean and simple and civil. You can call live into the studio to join the program. You can ask the officers questions that you may have, and also you can drop your contributions and observations as well. 0706 048 5853. Okay, 0706 048 5853. Do not forget to subscribe and follow and share. Take you directly to our pages. And on Facebook, we are at Vote 1043 FM. You have to write that together. And of course, you will be able to get to our pages on Facebook. Thank you for joining the program. The phone lines are officially open now. I have with me RCT Okodua. I hope I'm saying that right. Am
Yes,
I?
yes.
Okay, and RCAN Atu.
Yeah.
That is you. Thank you very much for coming this morning. Now, I want you to, I'm going to ask you two questions, so each of you take one of them, right? What are the consequences, some of the basic consequences for some of the basic road mistakes that people make? And then I also want one of you to tell me the challenges that the FRSC are experiencing in Enugu.
Okay, let me talk on the consequences.
All right.
For the use of phone while driving, one of the consequences is that if our patrol team apprehend you for use of phone while driving, it's 4,000 naira fine for you.
That is what.
Yes, for the
okay,
use
if
of
you
phone.
caught using your phone,
Yeah,
you will pay a 4,000 naira
Yeah,
fine.
and we have that of the use of not using your seatbelt.
Not
That's
using
SUV.
your
Yes,
seatbelt.
yes, seatbelt
Okay.
use violation. It's
Okay.
2,000 naira fine.
2,000 naira
Yeah,
fine.
so we have a range of others. which
Okay, so there are fines for every
offense
committed.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
if a person happens to be committing 5 or 6 at the same time,
Yes,
they will
yes.
be
You know, the
fined
one he
for-
has mentioned is the one that most people say, can easily pay 50,000 naira.
We have overloading too. got any offender for over maybe 10,000
So there's a
naira.
way you'll drive and you'll be stopped
Yes.
and you will pay fine for
Yes.
just driving like that way.
Yes, if you are apprehended.
All right, we need to go on a short commercial break. We will be right back. I have road commanders T. Okodua and A.N. Atu with me in the studio this morning, officers of the FRSC, talking to us about their responsibilities and role in Enugu State today. This is High Voltage 104.3 FM. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is High Voltage, Tuesday, 13th day of August 2024, and we are talking about road safety and everything that they have to do in Enugu State and the cooperation from road users as well. They have been talking to us, of course, from 9 a.m. and we've been on the conversation. You have a chance to call into the studio and be a part of the conversation. You can ask questions, drop your contributions, or make your comments. But of course, let me advise you to please call and be gentle, keep it clean, nice and simple so that we do not break any rules while we are having this conversation. 0706 0485 okay? 0706 0485 That is the number that you will call so that you will be able to join us this morning in the studio. RCT Okodua is here this morning, and RCAN Atu is here with me this morning talking about all the responsibilities of the FRSC, especially in Enugu. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming this morning. Please, I want you to go back and continue on the question we were talking about before we went on that commercial break. You were talking to us about the fines, the
penalties.
Penalties. Is that what it's called? Penalties.
There's this, we didn't mention about, there was something I didn't talk about initially. Most people don't see it, but there's something we brought into the issue of using a phone while driving. Use of phone while driving. If you are seen using a phone while driving, you'll be subjected to go through a test. You'll be subjected to go through a psychological evaluation.
Wait,
yes.
subject?
Ordinarily, it's not the fact that you use your phone, we just give you a ticket ordinarily. The fines have been so easy for people to pay, so most times they feel that because you have the money, you can do it and go scot-free. But now,
so people can send text
messages no, you cannot use. You can't use. If you want to use your phone, for instance, you look for a safe place, park the car, and make the phone call. That is if it's very, very necessary. You understand? Okay. That is very important for you to pick the phone.
Okay, so you allow
you need to park the car in a safe place where you know.
You have to deal with people like the VIO who have problems with parkings and things like that.
That's why
I said a safe
place.
A safe place.
Yes.
Okay, so
because it's not allowed part of the road.
place.
Like for instance, you get a news that may not be okay, and it affects your mood at that point. It also affects your response. Driving needs full concentration.
All right, let's see if we can talk to one of our callers this morning. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. All right, welcome Chigozie from Enugu. Go ahead, drop your contribution. Wait, we're not allowed to hands-free?
What is allowed is if you want to make a phone call, park the vehicle in a secure place.
No phone calls at all.
Make the phone call comfortably, then continue your journey. Okay. For instance, if you block your ears, or maybe now we have how they call it? We have these AirPods, for instance, that you just plug there. Most people use it. You won't know that they're on phone. Okay. Because they just put it in small. Some of them you won't know.
Yes.
But we are not saying this because we just want to say it. Studies have been taken, researches and the rest about the human behavior when it comes to emergency response. Okay. You can be talking to someone on the phone. Yes, it is hands-free, but it affects your response times when it comes to answering certain questions or reacting to maybe somebody maneuvering in front of you or where you are supposed to stop and the rest. It still affects you.
Okay, have you turned down the volume on your radio, sir? All right, name and location, please.
Yeah, it's two Chigos there. I've heard his response.
Okay.
So, hands-free is more like having a conversation. So does it also mean that if you have someone on the passenger seat, you shouldn't be having conversation with the person while driving? Because even the person on the passenger seat can also break bad news for you. So is the rule entirely that you don't have to talk while driving? I feel hands-free, we are there for safety. Because once you are using one hand to hold phone, psychologically it takes away your attention, and full concentration. But then when your two hands are on the wheels, the distractions are limited to an extent. So if they say you can also use hands-free, it also means that you can't have conversation with the passenger you're carrying, because it's the same as having the hands-free. The person can break bad news for you too. Over the phone, you can also get bad news. So please let them look at it very well and respond. Thank you.
Anyway,
Okay.
I've heard it.
Okay. Do
The
you have a
issue about
response?
bad news,
Yes.
like you have said, we don't expect you to go into a conversation with even the person that is sitting in your car that will cause a distraction to your driving.
Okay, but are you allowed to have
No,
conversations?
you can always talk. Nobody is, you have freedom of speech.
Okay, but he
We are
has
talking about the user.
he has attached it
Now,
to having.
if you marry these two together, I know that they don't go. For instance, you're using a phone and
Okay.
I'm talking to you directly.
Okay.
Yeah, we are having a conversation while driving. Sometimes the person inside your car should be a gentleman or a gentle lady,
Okay.
enough to understand that at that time you're in a critical moment where the person needs concentration to get you
Okay.
from point A to B. So even if you're having a conversation, you should not have a conversation that should take the person's mind off the steering wheel.
Okay.
You understand? Now
Okay.
you know that, okay, if I tell this particular person this, it will take his mind off. You don't tell the person. Sometimes you keep the news until you get to your destination.
I think,
That's break it.
if I were to it, I think the basic thing here is safety.
You understand?
Yes,
It's just safety
the basic
of
thing here
both
is
of you.
safety of both of you.
Yeah.
When you arrive at your destination, I think is the most important thing than every
It's
other.
not
discussion.
even about, yes, sometimes drivers will tell you, if I'm embarking on a long journey, I like to pick one person so that I can be talking to the person for me to be awake while driving, for me to be active. A lot of people do that. It works for them.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean throughout the period you're driving, you're always talking. There's nobody that can
Of
talk
course.
for 2-3 hours.
Okay,
non-stop.
but it's been likened to the whole hands-free situation.
Now, the hands-free situation,
Yeah.
let me ask a question now. You have a conversation maybe with your wife. You as a man, maybe you're married,
Okay.
and or maybe a friend.
Okay.
You're driving, and you call the person from Enugu. Man, I want to start driving now. You start the conversation on phone, hands-free, and you're driving towards Anambra, for instance.
Okay.
Will you want to talk to the person till you get to Anambra State? It's because you want to liken it with the person sitting down by your side discussing. Now, we have breaking time and stopping time. Now, that affects like I always say, it affects your response. It affects the response you have when you're driving. Most people don't know that driving is an art, and it's something you master over time. Now, if my mind is carried away by the conversation and there's something in front of me that I need to break, the time it will take me to touch that brake, and when I am not talking to anybody, is different. My response to that particular thing is sharp. If I am fully on the road, my mind is there and my body.
Okay, so it's worse to talk hands-free on the phone.
No, and even
than to have
the
a
person, even the conversation
with-
you're
okay.
having with the person, like I said, you can't be talking all over. Like for instance, you are driving with me, and from the beginning of our journey to the end, we are just talking. There are periods where there's a break.
That concentration need to be there.
There should
Okay,
be a,
so there should
now
be,
if you check now,
conversation breaks while driving.
most people who even engage in this, once the person that is driving maybe climbs a stone or something, they'll start shouting Jesus. They don't know that Jesus you're shouting is not responsible for why you have been talking, and the person that is driving is supposed to concentrate.
Oh, I see.
You understand?
Okay.
So sometimes nobody is saying you should not have a conversation inside your car. I'm not saying that. No. You can have a conversation inside your vehicle.
Okay.
But your safety is one of the things you should be talking about. Now, you should not have it. Most conversations we have are arguments. Most people don't even engage in conversations that are, I'm not sorry to say, very, very meaningful.
Are you serious about this?
Yeah, I know. Most times you enter, at least I've entered public vehicles.
Especially, yes, in the part of public vehicles.
If you enter public vehicles, it's either this one is criticizing this person, or this one is criticizing this one.
Let's see.
You understand? And there you start seeing arguments.
Okay.
Instead of having, quality conversations that will add meaning to. I know that's just the challenge we have.
Okay, I hear you. All right. One of the questions that some of our listeners sent to us was in addressing the issue of officers that might be corrupt, who might be on the road. Is there a way that the FRC addresses officers who might not be doing what they are supposed to do at the right time? How does the process go? Are there consequences for such behaviors?
Of course, there are consequences when it comes to patrol misconduct.
Okay, that's what it's called. Patrol misconduct.
Patrol misconduct. There are consequences. Or, in fact, every staff of FRC already understands what it means to be caught doing the wrong thing on the road. Sometimes it's not just about the issue of collecting money or collecting bribe from people. You understand? It also involves being civil to members of the public.
Okay, so
your output too. Sometimes even when they come to check your appearance, how you go out.
Oh, I must recommend you gentlemen look really nice this morning.
You understand?
Thank you.
It's about, there are other things that are used to check people on the road.
Okay.
Yeah, like one of my commanders will always say that the person collecting and the person giving, they are committing the same offense. The issue of inducement, for instance, we are quick to give out money when we are at fault.
Okay. Is that a syndrome?
It's something that you can even go out today and carry out the survey. You understand? Now, inside town, for instance, MOT will stop you on the road for beating the traffic light.
Okay.
The next thing you are saying, so, but how we go to am now? You understand that language?
Okay.
How we go to am? Now, if they refuse to get the money from you and they refuse to be induced by that, you feel bad that they've taken you to their office. Next time, if somebody is talking about the issue of bribe, you say they collect now. It happens.
So okay.
So what happens is that FRSA has a way of checks and balance when it comes to patrol misconducts. The misconduct does not end on the road where you do patrol operations. You also, even in the office, there are things you should not do.
Okay.
So if you're engaging in that attitude, definitely you are going to face the consequences, which we have regulation on discipline, and it's spelled out in black and white. If you do this, this is the punishment, and it's there.
All right, good morning. Welcome. Yes, your name and location, please, sir.
Hello?
Yes, your name and location.
Okay, it's still Chigozie. Call back.
Okay, Chigozie.
Yes. I think I have now understood that they are men of the Federal Road Safety Corps.
Of course.
So that's beautiful. They are welcome to our station. Okay, so the last question you posed to them that came from maybe the listeners on social media or so about the officers, So I think it's something they really need to look into and take serious decisions and actions about that. Because I remember when we are still small, when we are still kids, road safety is one arm of the government that road users actually, should I say, fear or what? So it makes, because you know them that they don't take bribe, that you can't bribe them. So everybody tries to make sure that they are in sequence with them when it comes to things you need to have in your vehicles and the actions you need to take while driving also. But today is no longer the case. People see road safety and say, these people, no problem, I just fold something and give to them. The establishment used to be one establishment as Nigeria. You can hit your chest and say, no, these people, they don't have bribery and corruption. But the rate at which in fact, you see drivers come to their where they are stationed, they will stop like some kilometers away, food something in their paper, go and give to them, and then come back and drive past. No matter how badly loaded the driver may have loaded the vehicle, or whether he has driver's license or not, and it's so bad. I feel so terrible seeing that on the road. I will give them kudos on how their man stops you, addresses you, respects you, and everything.
Okay.
Then some of them also will stop you and be like, "Oh God, anything for us." It's also unprofessional.
Have you experienced this? Have you experienced this yourself?
Yes, I use the road stay. I'm an engineer. I travel, stay. In fact, now in the next few minutes I'll be leaving for Anambra, and I'm sure I will still meet them. You understand? So you don't have to beg people for money. It breaks my heart. They are just going the way of the Nigerian police. I'm sorry to say that. This is a no. In fact, when I was a kid, I was like, maybe when I finish school, I want to join FRSC. But I don't have that idea again. I doubt if anybody does, except because of hardship and you're looking for a job. People should have passion for this. So please, they should set up their disciplinary committee. They should just drive. All these whistleblowers, drive along the road and see what your men do on the road. It's sincerely speaking, if they can sanitize this establishment, I will be the happiest person. At least you can say, even if you're discussing with your friends abroad, you can say, okay, even if everywhere is corrupt in Nigeria, no, road safety is not corrupt. You understand? But the way they stop you and respect you, that they have 100% there. But the bribery and the other parts of it, because when you take a bribe from a driver that is overloaded, you are risking the lives of many people on the road. Thank you.
All right, Chigozie, thank you so much for calling into the show this morning. Gentlemen, you want to react to Chigozie's appeal?
My reaction would be the system already has, like I said earlier, we have those saddle the responsibility of checking men on the road, and they are doing their jobs very well.
You don't think what Chigozie said?
It's not as if we can't rule that out. There's no way you can rightly say there's nobody who is into bribe taking in a FRSC.
Okay.
Yes, we have them, but we know how we get those people. You understand? So that is how the system works. And the punishment for that is that once they are through with whatever the procedures, for instance, you'll be subjected to go through maybe a disciplinary panel and the rest. The recommendation sometimes is termination of appointment.
Termination.
Yes. So it's not something that you joke with.
Okay.
So if you know you're collecting money on the road, you're joking with your job. I know people still go take the risk of getting this done, but if you are caught, you lose the job. So sometimes we tell them, why do it? We know things are quite difficult at the moment, yes, no doubt, but it shouldn't push you to the wall. What if you lose that little that you're collecting and tomorrow you don't have what to do? So we are also encouraging motorists to do the needful. Put your vehicles in order, make sure you have all you need to have, so that when you see FRSC, you won't be fast to bring out money. There are some people who cannot say no.
There are some people who cannot say no.
Of course, there are also some people who always want to demand.
Thank you so much for coming out this morning.
Yes.
I wish we had more time, but we will definitely love to have you once again, because we have a couple more questions that we would like to learn from you. But quickly before you go, what do you think that, are you partnering with the government, the present day government of Enugu, to do anything to improve the FRSC and their position in Enugu?
Yes, let me speak on that. I think the government of Enugu State, they are doing very well in the area of partnering with Federal Road Safety Corps in Enugu State. Like I told you, in that Ugo Oyama area, where we used to have crashes regularly, the government, we have spoken to the government, had several meetings with them, the State Ministry of Transport, and they are doing a lot to ensure that there's safety in that area. Right now, as I'm talking to you, they are making provisions for signage, road signage on that road. They are working on it. Very soon it will be out and it will be placed there. Road signage telling people to stop, telling people the kilometers that they will drive on that axis of the road around that army checkpoint area. So those are the things that they are doing together with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. RCAN Okodua. Okay, RCT Okodua and RCAN Atu. Thank you so much, sirs, for coming around this morning. We hope to see you again. It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to High Voltage.